Hey guys, it's just math, y'all. Here we go. We're going to get to another video. We are working on finishing up this chapter 6. This is number 12. We're going to start with, this is a division. We're going to start with keep, change, flip. We're going to keep, change, flip, and factor. We're going to factor all of these. This first one is a trinomial. The second one is a trinomial. These are easy tries. I'm going to do them real fast. Multiply to give me 8 and add to give me 6. That's 4 and 2. Multiply to give me 10 and add to give me 7. That's 5 and 2. I already see a cancel. Change, keep, change, flip, and factor. So this one is going to go to the top, and it is a trinomial. And I need multiply to give me 30 and add to give me 11. That's going to be 6 and 5. And this is the one right here that gives us some trouble. This one is a GCF. This one's a GCF. It is not a trinomial. It factors out z and z plus 4. That's the one that messes everybody up. Let's go ahead and cancel here. We've got our 2's. That one z plus 2 we were going to cancel. I've got a z plus 5 canceling with the z plus 5. And then I've got a z plus 4. Cancel that z plus 4. So if I look across the top, I have z plus 6 on top and a plain z on bottom. That's number 12. Next we have number 13. Number 13 is also is a multiply. It is not a keep, change, flip. It does have trinomials, but there's only one nice trinomial. I have 3 bottoms ups, and then I have a nice. So I have 3 bottoms up and a nice one. Now the nice trinomial, I'm going to go ahead and do it. No flipping. That's the one on the bottom. That's the easy one. And I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me 24, that add or subtract to give me 2, and that's going to be 6 and 4. Plus 6 minus 4 is what's going to give me the 2. Okay, so now the other 3 trinomials, I'm going to have to do bottoms up. So I'm going to create a little scratch area for the rest of my problem. Let's see. All right, so we're going to have a little scratch area over here for these problems. So the first one I'm going to do the 2t squared minus 5t minus 12. So when I'm going to do bottoms up, I'm going to take the 2 that was on the front, multiply it by the 12, and get a 24. Then that 2 is going to move down here to that part. Okay, so now I've got to come up with my 2 numbers that multiply to give me 24 that are going to add to give me a negative 5. So that'll be a negative 8 and a positive 3. This one is going to be x minus 4, and this one's going to bottoms up to 2x plus 3. So that's this one. All right, next we'll do the 3x squared minus 5x minus 8. I'm going to take 3 off of the t squared and multiply it by the 8 and get 24. Is this the same? It can't be exactly the same. Can it? No. It looks exactly the same. Oh, I know it's going to be different because I'm going to divide by the 3 this time. It does look the same, doesn't it? It's going to give me a minus 8, and it's going to give me a plus 3. But this time I get a t plus 1 and a 3t minus 8. About tricked me there. 3t minus 8 and a t plus 1. It was the same trinomial. It was the same part right here. That was the same part, but the first one I had to divide by the 2. The first one I had to divide by the 2, and the second one I had to divide by the 3. About caught me there. All right, third one, 3t squared plus 10t minus 48. I'm going to take the 3 off, multiply it by 48. That's a 10t Multiply 3 times 48, I get 144. Where's that 3 going to go? It's going to go back down here on the bottom. There we go. So I come up with multiply to give me 144. This add, subtract to give me 10. That's going to be 8 and 18. If I give you one this big, remember you can ask me for the factors of a big number. And then I'm going to bottoms up. This one's going to be t plus 6. And this one's going to be 3t minus 8. So there's all those bottoms up problems. And now that they're all factored, I'm going to cancel. All right, so I have a 3t minus 8 with a 3t minus 8. I have a t plus 6, cancel with a t plus 6. I have a t, these are supposed to be t's, not x's, my bad. I have a t minus 4, cancel with a t minus 4. And so what I have left, no canceling on those. What I have left is 2t plus 3 over t plus 1. It's number 13. Probably one of the harder problems on the whole test. So be ready for that one. 14. Now we switch to LCD, common denominator. Common denominator. So we're going to factor and then we're going to collect our shopping list. Factor and then shopping list. So I'm going to factor 90. I'm not going to factor 90 twice. This just happens to be the computer did 90 twice. So I really don't need this one. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's not there. This would be 9 times 4, which would be 3 times 3 times 2 times 2. All right, so in my common denominator, I take all the ingredients of the first one, all the factors of the first one. So I'm going to take a 3, a 3, a 2, and a 5. Then I'm going to go to the second one and say, what else do I need? Well, I already have a 3, I have 2 3s, and I have a 2. I need another 2. I need another 2. So there we go. That's my common denominator. Multiply all those numbers together, and let's see what we get. We multiply those together. I'm going to get 9 times 10 times 2, which is 90 times 2, which is 180. So my common denominator for 90 and 36 is 180. Let's do it with the 35x squared. So 35 is 5 times 7, and then x times x. And this is 5 and 3 boxes of x. So my common denominator, take all of the first one, and then go to the second one and say, well, what else do I need? Well, I have the 5, so I don't need to add that to my list. I have 2 x's, but I need another x. So now my common denominator is going to be 35x to the third. That's just the common denominator for 15. Number 14, it's not correct. It says it's 540. Did I read the problem wrong? No. The answer key is wrong for number 14. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Okay, anyway, number 16. Let's go to number 16. All right, for the common denominator, again, we're not adding or subtracting these, just like in the previous one. We're not adding or subtracting. We are just finding the common denominator. Okay, so nothing to factor for t, nothing to factor for t minus 6. So the common denominator, I need a box of t and I need a box of t minus 6. They are different. The common denominator is just the two denominators multiplied together. That is it. All right, so I didn't have to factor those, just had to multiply them together. 17, I do need to factor these. I would have factored 16 if they could have factored, but they didn't. So I'm going to factor the 17. That's a GCF. Remember, this is the one that everybody struggles with. We saw this again previous problem in number 12. We saw a situation like this in number 12, and I said everybody forgets this one. And then this trinomial we're going to factor, multiply to give me 20, add to give me 9, 5, and 4. Okay, so now for the common denominator, remember we take all of the first one. I need an m and an m plus 4. I take all of the first one. Then I say, well, what else do I need? I need an m plus 5. And that is my common denominator right there. Let's keep going. All right, we're going to factor each of these. We have to factor each one of these. These are all easy trinomials. I'm not going to use my scratch work. These are all easy trinomials with k's. I'm not going to use my scratch work. Okay, the first one, I need two numbers that multiply to give me 35 and add to give me 12. Well, that would be 5 and 7. Positive 7 and a positive 5. Second one is multiply to give me 5 and add to give me 6. Well, that would be 5 and 1. Positive 5 and a positive 1. The third one is the one that's a little trickier. It multiplies to give me 40 and adds or subtracts, because there's negatives in this problem, to give me a 3. That's going to be 5 and 8. All right, it's going to be a positive 5 and a negative 8, because 5 minus 8 gives you the negative 3. So that's why it's a positive 5 minus 8. Okay, so there's everything, my factors. So my common denominator, take all of the first one. So I'm going to take k plus 7 and k plus 5. I'm going to go to the second fraction and say, what else do I need? Well, I've already got the k plus 5, so I'm going to add to my list a k plus 1. I'm going to go to the third one and say, what else do I need? Well, again, I already have the k plus 5. I don't need that one, but I do need a k minus 8. That is my common denominator for number 18. Aren't you glad we're not going to add those? You might find one of those as an extra credit. Number 19. Now we're going to add or subtract. If you'll notice something very interesting about these first two problems, the denominators are the same. When the denominators are the same, all you do is combine your numerators. 6 over 15x plus 8 over 15x makes 14 over 15x. Why? Because 6 plus 8 is 14. That's it. That's it. Same with number 20. The denominators are the same. So we just need to do the numerators. 13 minus 4 is 11. That's it. 13 minus 4 is 11. That's it. Let's go to something else. Okay, number 21. We do not have a common denominator. I need the common denominator for 9 and 10. 9 is 3 times 3. 10 is 2 times 5. I need a 3 and a 3. I need a 2 and a 5. Hey, my common denominator is 90. That's just the two denominators multiplied together. Yes, sometimes that's what the common denominator is. So the common denominator is 90. Now I'm going to change the numerators. Whoop, wrong button. So now the first one, I had to multiply it by 10 to get 90. So I'm going to multiply this numerator by the same thing. So that'll be 10x. The second fraction, I have to multiply it by 9 to get 90. I have to multiply the numerator by the same thing, and that'll be negative 9. Because that negative stays with that 1. And so now when I put them together, I just have 10x minus 9 over 90. That's my answer. I didn't really add them, but I did put them together. All right, let's look at the common denominator for r and r minus 3. Well, I can't factor either one of them. I take all of the first one and then the second one. So again, the common denominator is just the two of them multiplied together. So I'm going to get a new color. So I have r. Ooh, that's too light. We can't do that. We have an r and an r minus 3. I have an r and an r minus 3. That's the common denominator. Okay, so now how am I changing this first one? Got an r minus 3, multiply. The second one just got an R. And it doesn't matter where you multiply it. So that's going to give me a 2R minus 6 on top plus 6R. Let's put that together. That's going to be an 8R minus 6 on top over an R times an R minus 3. Very good. All right, here we go. We're going to get a common denominator for z and z squared. Z and z squared is just z times z, so the common denominator is just z squared. Look and see if I copied this problem right. I did. So the common denominator is z squared. I don't have to change the first one at all. I don't need to change the first one at all. The 6 is going to be a 6. Now this one I'm going to have to multiply by another z. So it'll be minus 9z. Put that together. 6 minus 9z over z squared. That's it for y'all. We're going to go back to video number 3 now. It's just